you don't know that song, you should go look that song up. Yes. Well, the biggest things we have is Zelensky is crying like a little baby. We have a bunch of awesome wins that are coming down the pipeline that are just going to knock your socks off. Winnie the Pooh is also capitulating to Trump. And we look at my thesis earlier that illegals are killing people. Yes, they are. And we have complete proof in a wonderful, wonderful dash cam video brought to you by the murderers themselves. So, it's so bad that you're going to have to look it up yourself because 3 people die. It's bad. All right, so first up, peace on earth. The biggest thing going on right now is Zelensky is meeting with Donald today along with EU leaders. Why? Because again, harp on this multiple times. We have given Zelensky 180 billion. The EU has given Zelensky 140 billion. And he claims he's only received 75 million? It's like 75 billion. So where'd all that money go, Zelensky? We all know where it went. The deep state took it. Corruption took it. The most corrupt country in the world, and a lot of the money has disappeared. What is happening with Zelensky? Remember, Zelensky tried to destroy the peace talks this past weekend. The peace talks that went very, very well. In a quick nutshell, Putin said he wants land, and then Trump said he wants peace. And that was the standard of requirements that them meeting in Alaska. Right when they were getting ready to meet, Zelensky or the deep state or a combination of both launched a drone strike into Russia and the Donbass. With Donbass, they shot missiles. Remember, this is part of the land that Russia is claiming is now going to be theirs. So Zelensky is literally giving like a middle finger to Trump and Putin and say, fine, I'm just going to blow up the land there. That's my own area. Real sick. And no, the targets were not military targets. The targets were apartment buildings. Right now, big news is concessions. It has now come out from the talks that Putin has now agreed to military occupation of Ukraine. This was initially a non-starter for Putin. Putin has now agreed that NATO and or the US, which will be us, can formulate a military alliance and put people boots on the ground in Ukraine to help guarantee their safety. That is ginormous because Putin initially said this is a non-starter. We have said and agreed that NATO should not come into Ukraine. One of Putin's another big sticklers. So this is great. Putin's given up some. We're giving up some. NATO's got to now agree to that. That's why the EU leaders are going to be there with the talks, because essentially at that point, they're guaranteeing that, okay, we agree we're not going to try to assimilate Ukraine into NATO. Big deal, big deal. The last little bit is spanking Zelensky and basically making him agree that he's going to have to give up the Donbass region. I mean, frankly, he's a puppet. He's been put in there by the CIA. He has no real power. Trump's going to just put him over his knee and be like, look, this is what you're doing. And of course, we're going to check on hell freezing over because it looks like it's going to happen because Trump has stated that he wants a deal by the end of this week or close to it. We could actually see a full-on, not ceasefire like I was expecting and then more talks going down the road, but an actual peace treaty by the end of the week, if not next week. That would be phenomenal. And what's hilarious is, we'll get into it later, but somebody cried, an old man, an old boomer cried about this. You don't know what you're talking about, you little incel. We'll get into it. It's hilarious. Pooh falls in line. Yep. And we're going to talk about this, showing how California and other sanctuary cities and states are cheating the system and causing the deaths of Americans. Also, all the good news, kids are being saved. Thumbing it to the left is just a lot of good news to get into. So let's have a smile on our face for a Monday and let's look at these headlines because most of them are absolutely fantastic. We've talked about this just already at the headlines. We've already broke this down. Zelensky's coming today with the EU leaders today. Trump's like, get your butt in here. We're going to make a deal. Look, Putin, he's agreed that we can have troops on the ground parked right next to his border, and he's not going to cry about it. He's not going to throw a fit as long as we agree that Ukraine does not become part of NATO. All right? Zelensky, you've got to get rid of the Donbass and Crimea. Why? Because you guys screwed up. You could have ended this war 3 years ago, but you didn't. So now we've got to put an end to it, and they occupy that. Obama let Putin take Crimea. It's over. So get over it. That's all well and good. Hopefully we'll see a final peace treaty toward the end of the year. Putin, I want to harp on this again because this boomer is absolutely crying, you can't trust Putin. Putin confirmed no war if Trump went in. I mean, we can look at Trump's track record because, again, he's the only president in my lifetime where there wasn't a full-on war when he was head of the helm. Putin has now agreed that, yeah, if Trump, you were at the head of the helm, there wouldn't have been a war. Not only that, Xi has now come out and he's agreed he's not going to attack Taiwan. He promises he will not attack Taiwan while Trump is in office. Why do you think that is? Because they understand Trump is not someone to be trifled with. It's amazing. You leftists just don't like looking at facts and history. Zelensky and the EU are now on the hook. That's right. Zelensky has to now suck his bottom lip up, dry his eyes, and agree that the Donbass is no longer his. Because frankly, he's not the one in charge. He's not. And so Trump's going to remind him who's really in charge, and he's going to sign it whether he likes it or not. The biggest one now is EU. EU now has to back off on NATO. So everything is now riding on the EU quitting the NATO narrative, backing up, leaving it alone, and we all go our separate ways. I hope that happens. And again, this big concession here by Putin, basically allowing boots on the ground in Ukraine right up to their border. That was initially a huge deal. So it's looking like I want to bring this up because, again, picking on that boomer, Hillary Clinton admits she will nominate Trump to the Nobel Peace Prize. He doesn't need her. He's already got multiple leaders. He's already stopped 7 or 9 conflicts. So again, little stick. I know you're out there watching. You can debate me, but I know you're not going to. Xi assured him China will not invade Taiwan. Again, how much winning do you need? How much? Is this enough winning for you? I think this is awesome because peace is fantastic, and I definitely don't want to see war. I am happy knowing that hopefully people will stop dying in Europe. That would be absolutely wonderful. So many people have been saved. Now we're going to get into my prior thesis that if you deport illegals, it saves lives, period. It is an empirical evidence that you can. This is a clip I cannot show you. It is online, but it is so brutal, I cannot play this on YouTube. It shows Sing Sing here and his buddy basically chilling out in a tractor trailer doing an illegal U-turn on the interstate. They stop in the middle of an interstate and do a U-turn on an emergency vehicle section that connects the two and kill 3 people. Brutally. They don't care. If you watch the video, this man has no reaction. He's just like, whatever. Because the countries that these people come from, their culture is they do not care about human life. They are not compatible with the American culture. They do not care about you. They do not care about anyone. India's culture is get it done by any means necessary. Whether it's lying, cheating, stealing, you must succeed. They don't care about human life. They don't care about honor. They want to get it done. So why are we letting these people into this country when they don't care about human life? It's just absolutely insane, and you cannot justify it. And I have the data to prove that illegals are killing people on the road. Now, here's my proof as well as far as how many people are out there. This, from USDOT, the number of registered truckers on the roads right now from 2018 to today. Notice anything interesting? Singh, Rodriguez, Garcia, Hernandez, Juan Diaz, Juan Papa, Juan Baba, Lopez. What about that? Okay, Ryan, you just don't got it, Melly, you didn't get it. No. I'm going to prove it to you. You ready for the numbers? You ready? This is going to blow your mind. Singh is overrepresented. Why? He's only 2% of the population, meaning this is 15 times higher than it should be. 15 times. Sing Sing here shouldn't even be on the map. Sing should be all the way toward the end. Where do you think they're registering at? They're registering in California because they know California is not going to get them out. California is going to allow them on our roads without a valid license. They're just going to let them go out, and they're just going to let them kill people. They don't care. Gonzales is only 14.5% of the population, meaning that all of these names here over, 3.5% overrepresented? That's right. We'll get into what this chart should look like. Meaning that Whitey and Blackie are underrepresented by a factor of 3. Indeed. Let's correct this chart here. That's right. This should not be here. Nope. Get this out. Sorry, Singh. You should not be here. Rodriguez, nope. Get out. Garcia, nope. Get out. Hernandez, Gonzalez. See here. Yep. Okay, Martinez, you can stay. This is correct. Lopez, you can stay. Williams, Johnson, Smith, and we need a lot more Whitey and Blackie in here. Come on, lefties. You talk about DEI and being a percentage of the population. Explain it to me. Explain it to me, blue hair. Oh, that's right. I'm not allowed to say blue hair. People are thinking blue hair is reference to senior citizens. My bad. I'm now supposed to reference it as rainbow hair. So come on, rainbow hair. Is that we good? Everybody good now? Have I triggered some blue hairs out there? My bad. My bad. Except for you, little stick. You know who I'm talking about. All right. So now that we got this is what the chart should look like. We can have a Martinez and Lopez, but we can't have the rest of these over here. Again, because illegals are going to these sanctuary cities, they're registering to drive, and they're on the roads with you, killing you. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you not know that? Allow me to dive in. So what has happened with the 1.6 million people leaving is you're seeing a 10% reduction approximately of people on the roads already in sanctuary cities. Indeed. Illegals have an 11 times increase of getting in a wreck. 11 times over Whitey and Blackie. Okay? Do you understand? Does that make sense? 11 times more likely. Not only are they 11 times more likely, they are 3 times more likely to be involved in a fatal crash. As we saw Sing Sing a moment ago, killing 3 people. And he didn't care. He didn't care. You watch his face on that video and tell me he is not a heartless, soulless B-word. That means in LA alone, for the first half a year, we've saved 6 lives. In New York City, we've saved 145 lives just by kicking illegals off the road and out of the country. That is a savings over $1/3 billion and 14 million in LA. These aren't my numbers. These are numbers coming from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. This is their numbers. These are using their numbers, and these are using their low-end numbers. This is not adjusting for the cost of living in New York and LA, which would make these higher. These are conservative numbers. General fatality rate is 1% per crash. Illegals are 3 times as likely to make that somebody dying, and 11 times more likely to cause an incident. That's right. These are not my numbers. These are the numbers from their own government, and you know they're lowballing it. All right. Let's get into some wins. Again, pointing out 1.6 million illegals are out of the country. That's saving lives now, isn't it? That's saving some lives. Not only that, that's saving you headache. That's getting illegals who don't care about you, who are driving around unlicensed, uninsured, not killing people and ruining your day. Sounds like a pretty good plan. I like that. That sounds good. Child gender clinics are shutting down across the U.S. I love this. Nearly 20 gender clinics or programs are pausing child changes or shutting down since the start of the year. That is fantastic. That is beautiful. Stop mutilating children. Come on, rainbow hair. Come on. Come on. I know you're upset and I love it. Your tears are so delicious. Average American received 3,752 tax cut in 2026 due to no tax on tips is the big one coming out of this. It's not really a no tax on tips. It's, again, you're able to kind of cut it off on you're able to take that and you're able to deduct that from your actual tax bill, which is fantastic. I do want to point out, though, again, when you see the word average, you really want to see the word median. Average in this case is probably mean because it's probably going to increase it due to the outliers of the richy rich people getting a larger tax share. Why? Because they're making $1 million. They're making over $1 million. So yeah, if you take 10% off somebody making $40,000, that's $4,000. You take 10% off somebody making $40 million, that's $4 million. It's still about the same as far as from a ratio perspective. I mean, it is the same. But the point is that richy rich, if you give everybody the same tax break, will get more money off. That's just how it works, people. I'm sorry. That's math. I know it makes people upset, but the point is you should be happy with what you do get, and this is still a fantastic thing. This is on top of the tax cuts already perceived and done by Trump in his first term, which is fantastic. The Democrats don't care about you. They want to tax you into oblivion. They want one class, and that is the slave class. Another great news coming out this morning. There have now been over 300 arrested in D.C. DCers are absolutely fantastic, happy about it. Again, 90% approval rating for what's happening in D.C. right now. They have caught murderers, drug traffickers, human traffickers. Again, why are you letting these people stay in your city? It's racism. That's right. Because the D.C. mayor, I think it was the D.C. mayor, I believe it was, came out and stated that this is impacting brown and black people. So you're saying brown and black people are the criminals? Is that what you're saying? I love it when the left shows their own racism. It's fantastic. It's beautiful. And coming out this morning, Trump signs an executive order on elections. He says no more mail-in ballots, no voting machines, and he's got a new argument. Because what's going to happen, and this is true from constitutional perspective, is that the states control their elections. This is going to have to be decided in the Supreme Court. Trump is now arguing that right now it's been confirmed there are over 300,000 illegals that were in the Social Security system. They completed their audit of the Social Security system per Doge and have confirmed that there are people over the age of 160, over the age of 120, receiving Social Security benefits. I'm sorry, those people aren't really alive. They are stealing from us. And they found over 300,000 illegals on Social Security stealing from us. That equates to billions of dollars per year. Billions. This also means that illegals are indeed confirmed voting. I know for a fact, I know from personal experience, illegals are voting. They are. And so Trump has now stated, okay, you cannot allow this. You cannot say some valid citizen in Iowa who is going to vote, and now you've got an illegal diluting that vote in California and destroying that through both the census, where you're destroying the electoral college and you're destroying representation by allowing illegals to be counted in the census and represented in our country. You can't do that. So Trump is saying that that is a violation of the Constitution. So this is a purely constitutional question. If you're allowing illegals to vote in California and New York and Colorado and be counted in the census, you are therefore destroying citizens, legitimate citizens in other states, and destroying their representation. That is now a constitutional question that has to go before SCOTUS. This is designed to say, SCOTUS, who is it going to be? Is it going to be the illegal or is it going to be the citizen? This is going to be a fantastic litmus for every single justice that votes against or for this. Are you representative of the United States of America, SCOTUS, or are you representative of the illegal? This is fantastic. This is By the way, on mail-in ballots, get what other first world country does mail-in ballots? I'm waiting. Come on, rainbow hair. That's right. There isn't any. Why? Why? Because it is absolutely fraught with fraud. It is. This is beautiful. I love to see it. Come on, little stick. I know you're out there. Debate me, but I know you're not going to do it because we all know leftists, they rely on feels over facts. Whoa. Hope that helped you out for a Monday. Dig you later, guys. Mally signing off.